Sunday night, engine screaming, fists uptight, Discord popping, somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap one, chaos, 3 wide deep, somebody blinks, somebody weeps, rear view mirror full of smoke, cut me off, I won't lift, that'll do it, there he goes again. You dive in low, I hold my line, chrome to chrome at the finish line. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside, get you some. Hold it wide, get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning, league race live, and we're still 3 wide. You wanna see my dog? Yeah, that eagle on my grill is boss. Talk is cheap when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide job sent from outer space. Net code give it, net code takes. Somebody's yelling in the chat. Who drove through me? Imagine that. White flags flying, hearts beat fast. One more corner, don't lift that gas. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside, get you some. Hold it wide, get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning, league race live, and we're still 3 wide. Some got skill and some got luck. Some just scream, Scotty, wake up. Admin's watching, finger on mute. Somebody crossed the racing route. 3 laps down, but still we fight. Short track war under neon lights. 191 racing, say it loud. We ain't here to run in a crowd. Get you some, hold it flat. If you spin me, we'll talk about that. That'll do it. Lights come up, so let's begin. Green flag drops on a Sunday night, engine screaming, fists uptight, Discord popping, somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap one, chaos, 3 wide deep, somebody blinks, somebody weeps, rear view mirror full of smoke, cut me off, I won't lift, that'll do it, there he goes again. You dive in low, I hold my line, chrome to chrome at the finish line. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside, get you some. Hold it wide, get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night is cheap when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide job sent from outer space. Net code give it, net code takes. Somebody's yelling in the chat. Who drove through me? Imagine that. White flags flying, hearts beat fast. One more corner, don't lift that gas. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you sub, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning, league race live, and we're still 3 wide. Some got skill and some got luck. Some just scream, Scotty, wake up. And men's watching, finger on mute. Somebody crossed the racing route. 3 laps down, but still we fight. Short track war under neon lights. Why not one racing? Say it loud. We ain't here to run in a crowd. Get you some, hold it flat. If you spin me, we'll talk about that. That'll do it. Lights come up, so let's begin.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the 191 Motorsports as we're back in action here tonight at the Iowa Speedway, kind of a tweener type of track here, and I will allow Jimmy to call it a short track since it is only 0.88 miles, so about 9/10 of a mile here in the Midwest, and it's unique, because it's kind of like, the distance of a Richmond. It's the same type of shape, but it's definitely not like Richmond at all. It's got its own unique flavor. Carlheim, we're joined in the booth by Jimmy Cover. Jimmy, what are your thoughts on Iowa? Certainly a little bit more banking than Richmond.
It's still round. It's got a little bit of banking. It's drivers seem to be enjoying it out here tonight. There is 16, 17, 18, 19, there's 20 drivers signed up here for tonight. So nice sized field here for 191 on a Sunday evening, late afternoon, wherever you may be located. But possibly, these drivers are out here and they should be having some fun. And obviously, I don't know how people enjoy short tracks, but anyways, they get out here and it's all about controlling the car and not losing it, throttle management, and giving each other room, especially for the amount of laps that they have to run here tonight. They have 120 laps on file, and then should be a comp caution after 25, so we'll get that comp caution and then continue to the race. But it's looking to be a good one here. We've got 3 minutes in of qualifying down. We've got about 2 minutes, a little less than 2 minutes to go. And right now, I think provisional pole sitter might be Michael Rakes. So we're looking forward to seeing who can tackle on Iowa and manage the cornfield.
Actually, we got 125 laps on tap here tonight. Okay. As it's the cornfield 109. That's fine, because I'm even wondering about the 109 since it's I guess it. Never mind. It does kind of figure out it's close enough to 125 laps for the 109 miles here tonight. But either way, should be going out here tonight. We got our in-race reporter, if I can find him. There he is. Tonight, the in-race reporter is going to be the 16 of Michael Rakes. Michael, first of all, welcome up here to the CRN booth, and looks like a pretty good starting spot. So maybe a reason why you want to be the talker here tonight.
I felt pretty good because it's one of the first tracks that I've actually had some experience with here in the Gen 6, as I think it was my first race in this league last year. So I felt like I could do pretty decent. I didn't exactly feel great about my lap either, so that's fun.
Well, I guess that's a good thing. If you didn't feel good, you put it on the pole here, the way it looks, and it only goes up from there. But maybe something about the Midwest, as a couple of races ago, almost about a month ago, because of the off weeks here, you were able to claim your first victory of the season at Kansas and your first win since the season finale last season at Vegas. So you certainly have the mile and a half tri-ovals down, but under a mile here tonight. As I mentioned to Jimmy, it's a little bit different here at Iowa. It's just a different feel compared to a track that's about the same length as Richmond.
Oh yeah, it's a big difference. Just really slick too. So I think that might kind of play into what I'm somewhat okay at. Yeah, so I don't know.
well, we'll see. And you certainly got the bird's eye view right from the front here tonight. But before we let you go and get out of here and get ready to start this race, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
I just want to thank everybody that's part of putting this all together. You guys for putting this on YouTube, all that fun stuff, and Mike and all the admins for putting on the league.
All right, buddy. We'll wish you luck, and we'll let you get out there in the car, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you at the end of the race in that top 3.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That is driver of the 16, Michael Ricks, as we get this thing ready to go. Jimmy, why don't you give us a rundown of that 20-car field here tonight?
Yeah, quick rundown of the field here tonight. Let me clear this out of here. It's going to be pole sitter, going to be Michael Ricks, and that we just talked to, and then Billy Rickett, last week's winner, getting his first win of the season and in 191. Finally, out on the outside, Travis Noble will be starting third. Matthew Jordan, Michael Casey, Zane Bierman, Bryce Saucier, Dale Garner Jr., Douglas Ivey, Levi Pohl will round out your top 10. Then back in the rest of the field is going to be Ken Ewell, Andrew Jones, Zach Pierre, Bryson Anderson, Steve Harris, Tanner McAllister, Robbie Miner, Thomas Osborne, and then you got a few more cars back there with Tony Brennan and Chris Perry.
I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in tonight as we get ready for another race here for 191, as this is race number 6. So getting close to that halfway point. Next week at Kentucky will officially be the halfway point in this 14-race season. And so far through the season, Michael Casey with 2 wins. He leads the points by a mere 5 points over Bryce Saucier in second with a win himself. Billy Rickett, our latest winner here, and finally I got a chance to talk to him. He's on the outside of the front row, as Jimmy mentioned, maybe looking for back-to-back. I mean, he broke the seal, and never know, maybe he goes back-to-back now and gets another win, as he's only another 2 points back in the points in third. And then Michael Rakes, our in-race supporter here tonight, in fourth, the other winner here for the season, as we had 4 different winners so far through the first 5 races. Andrew Jones rounding out the top 5 in the points. They got Jordan, Helms, Bierman, Brennan, and Ewell for your top 10. But I'm looking forward to this one here tonight. It should be a good one here, but as mentioned, it can be a little slick out here. It sounds like it is. Trying to take a look at the weather here tonight. It looks like it's 76 degrees, so it's not too bad, not too cold, not too warm out there. The track itself sitting at 75 degrees. We've certainly seen colder, but it doesn't help. When you run these tracks in the daytime, you get that heat beating down on it. It can help the car stick a little bit to the track. I know you always want a little bit cooler of a track, and you think that gives you a little bit more grip, but it actually it gets to a point where it's too cold and you lose a little bit of grip. So we'll see how much the cars are sliding around here tonight. We're going to see this pace car slide off the track right now and head into pit lane. Actually, it looks like maybe next time by, as we're going to have one more pace lap here before we get this thing going. And again, 125 laps on tap. We'll have the comp caution up to 25, and then basically about a 100 lap race from there.
Yeah, it's a good amount of laps here, I think, for the drivers, and obviously, it's you can see the different surfaces or the repairs or whatever was there when Iowa or when iRacing did the scanning, and I'm sure they'll be utilizing those different areas, looking for grip on the track throughout the evening. Because depending on the way the track is, every bump that's out there, and you get so used to kind of rolling over them, but it does affect cars. And whether you get down on the apron and the weight transfer of the car could make this thing here spin just a little bit too, along with too much power on that throttle. But we're getting ready to go green here as the pace car pulls in as Michael Rakes brings about out of the final corner, ready to go, and the green flag is in the air. Away we go.
Racing here at Iowa Speedway. A little bit of a rough start there for Ricks, and Ricketts going to take the lead into turn 1 and get down to the bottom right away. We'll see how much the bottom line is the preferred line to be right now. The car's just getting up to speed. You see Poland picking up a couple spots there on the outside in that country time number 91. But Rickett is going to lead him around at turns 3 and 4, and he's going to lead the first lap here at Iowa. Everybody getting away nice and clean here. As a battle for second between Matthew Scruffy Jordan. Good to see the 23 running up here. Looks like the 134 of Stephen Harris maybe having a little bit of issues here. And I believe it was off the track, so no caution here. Take a look at what happened here. Maybe just a little cold tire action here, Jimmy. As, yeah, it looks like maybe a little cold tire, a little bump right there heading off of 4, and a lot of heavy impact to the inside wall.
Yeah, just a little cold tires, too much throttle, and down across the field he comes, and I'll have to bring that 134 down into the pits here, but keeps it off the track, keeping away the caution here early on, so they'll have a big, let me see, heavy left-hander.
We may have caution anyway. I see Zane Bierman having some issues.
Yeah, just seen that come up.
And you see right there in the middle of the corner, the back end just losing. I mean, it didn't seem like there was anything, not even like a bump like we've seen from Stephen Harris. But the lawn maintenance here for the 20 or for the 55, certainly not the damage that we see on the 134, but he keeps it going here and it keeps on the lead lap. So that way, when the comp caution comes out, he'll be okay. We do see another car there at the front. I believe that is Thomas Osborne trying to keep himself on the lead lap there in the 83 at the front. Not sure what happened to him, if he started from the pits or had an issue on the start, whatever the case is. He's not too far in front of the leaders, and he's got to keep it in front for another 20 laps to stay on that lead lap.
Yeah, if he wants to stay, be the only car, on the lead lap. I mean, he's in a position, only to be in the only car. That would be a lap down, but getting a little loose here and some troubles there as we bring him up.
In front of the leaders. And, heavy impact there with the 27 as... Wow. We have to take a look on board here with Zach Peter and see if that was just kind of a surprise. Here's a car right in front of you. As the 83, it seems like turn 3 and 4, definitely a spot to keep an eye on here tonight.
Yeah, Zach Peer here. We'll hop on board here as this thing unravels, and we'll just go ahead and play this at full speed. So we already seen what happened up there from Thomas. He just kind of lost the car, and beat all day here with Zach, and you can see a car coming down, and whoops. And I bet
it's almost like a magician's reveal there, as unfortunately the 70 there of Travis Noble just kind of pulled the curtain away at the last second, and surprise, there's a car right in front of you.
Yeah, here's a cockpit view.
Yeah, and just you kind of see it a little bit too late there for Pierre, and unfortunately, heavy impact as both him and Thomas Osborne are going to walk away with a meatball on that one. Looks like Pierre was able to drive away, so he'll at least be able to get to the pits under his own power and use one of those fast repairs. But field out catching the pace car, actually maybe vice versa. Maybe the pace car catching the field. But going to be early caution here. I would assume no pit stops here from the field, as they're probably going to wait till lap number 25 unless some drivers want to come in here early. But I think it's maybe a little bit too early to take the pit stop now and avoid the one on 25. So unless you want to take a little bit of fuel for whatever reason, I would expect most of the field to stay out here with Billy Rickett in the lead, Michael Rakes, Matthew Jordan, Levi Poland, and Mike Casey for your top 5. This pit entry here, Jimmy, it can get difficult because of how much of a turn in there is. I mean, you see the where the safety truck is kind of parked there in the kind of backed in there in the spot with the wall. It's just, it almost seems like a really tight entry because you really have to turn it hard down into pit entry here.
Yeah, it's obviously right off the corner. Drivers are trying to keep as much speed as possible, and it's something you have to practice. Obviously, I think it's designed that way to actually legitimately slow down the cars. Because they have obviously speed limits on pit road for a reason. You know, back in the day, I think when they first started there, I don't think there was an actual pit limit on some of the speedways.
Back in the heyday, no. Back in the day, you came flying in there.
Yeah, and obviously things over history have changed that. People getting hurt and killed and all kinds of fun stuff down there. So safety reasons, some of these entrances are not very safe.
I gotta give a shout out to Douglas Ivy. And I know we've seen some new paint schemes out there. Looks like Mike Casey's got a new paint scheme on the 6, but I'm looking at that 33 that you have on the screen right there. Douglas Ivy is not too often that the drivers kind of lean into the kind of like the track that they're at, the sponsor that they're that's out there for the night. But given the fact that tonight is the the Cornfield 109, it makes sense that he's got a Cortiva AgriScience on the car here tonight for the 33, and maybe picking up that sponsor here for tonight. So good looking corn-fed Chevy out there for the 33. But we're getting ready to get this thing back underway. And again, it's going to be Billy Rickett at the front. He's going to be the control car here. And we'll see if that 7 gets a better launch than the 16 did on the initial start.
Try again here this time, but obviously being on the control car, not the green flag, so maybe a little easier for the leader to start the thing off. But Billy Rickett's going to go ahead and get him back underway, and Levi Poland already looking to the outside of the 16 behind Michael Rakes. But going to just fall back in line, so just maybe just had a little bit of better start and just kind of burned off a little bit of that momentum by just going high a little bit. But you can see them all kind of grouped up too wide here, and these tires now finally, I think, getting to the point of being warmed up here just a little bit and be able to make them stick to be able to drive a little bit better than what they were right off the rip.
Yeah, hopefully for the drivers, they do start to gain a little bit more grip, because this track can be difficult as it is, and if you add in a little slickness to it, it can be even worse. And it's nice to have the new asphalt patch down there on the bottom, but it can be difficult because if you're up there, kind of that middle line, and you're kind of straddling both the seams there, like you see right now, the 65, that's where it can get a little bit wishy-washy when it comes to the grip. But it looks like so far so good for the drivers. Hopefully they can settle in right now, get to lap number 25, shake those cobwebs off, and get their pit stop going, and then get some racing here for the second half of this race. I want to thank everyone out there in CRN Nation for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that we have to offer here at CRN. I want to thank our sponsors, Kim's Cups and More, One Vision, EMS and Transport, and Beyond the Edge. Nice little restart here for Rickett at the front as he starts to stretch out here just a little bit, 0.6 of a second in front of Rakes and Poland. We're just trying to keep him in tow right now. But for the most part, the field's kind of settling in 2x2 for 4th place. A little bit of bump in there between Saucier and Jordan, but both of them keep it going in the right direction. And then right behind him, we got Ivy doing a little battling there with Casey. As they battle, but there's some more bumping. Has Jordan getting the elbows out here early?
Yeah, just trying, I think, run a good line and just trying to find that speed. And the 18 on the outside kind of limited him there, and but still keeping it down there, but being a little bit slower there. But now losing that spot to the 18 as 18 of Bryce Saucier will go ahead and take over heat number 4 as he's moved up 3 spots so far. Biggest move of the race so far, though, back in 11th is going to be Tony Brennan, that number 65 Fast Man Machine, as he's up 8 spots currently. Oh, and we got a wreck.
Yeah, Jordan got into the back of the 18 going into turn number 3 and got loose for a while. Looked like he saved it. I think he did. Looked like he maybe clipped the apron a little bit, and then the 33 clipped the back of him. And wait, I think we clipped out of that replay too early, but here we go. As you see right there, the 33, little tap coming out of the corner, and we already seen the exit of 4 be slick as it is. And you see, you may not be able to see it from here, but as a driver, I can see that right. That car is pointed to the right, trying to save it, and now back to the left. Luckily, not
tagged.
Too bad of a brush there by the 19 of Ken Ewell, but Pretty good impact to the outside wall there by the 23. Don't look like too much damage, though, on that Ford. So Scruffy will most likely come in, maybe get it touched up a little bit before the comp caution. But going to bring us under another caution here on lap number 18, so not quite there. We'll double check in the meantime and make sure that we're going to go green and then right back to caution, or if this will count as the green-white checkered. I'm sorry, not the green-white checker, the comp caution.
Carl's ready to get to Iowa.
Yeah,
I'm Dustin already.
Yeah, about that time. Let's go. Wrap it up.
But yeah, it's obviously a tough track there, and just the slightest bump. You can see how difficult it was to kind of manage that incident there, and obviously just a little graze kind of probably made it did make it worse for Scruffy, but. Scruffy's been trying to find his pace here for the season. I think, I don't know if his highest was last week. He did get that, I think it was P6, I believe. So it's definitely been challenging there for Scruffy. Just kind of wrong spot, wrong time for that one as the 19 clipped him and sent him in the wall. But Scruffy is back out there. He's just now lost a few positions back here in P number 15. Does look like do we have a couple retirees already? No. We just got a couple down in the pits at the moment. Change this to not pit lap. We'll change it to gap so you can see the difference between the leader to the rest of the way. And if anybody's a lap down, it does look like the 83 is 2 laps down. Steve Harris still in the pits, 18 laps down, and Pierre now 1 lap down as well.
I'm wondering if Harris maybe didn't have his fast repair checked and is now sitting in there getting those repairs done, or maybe he decided to call it a night early on here. But as Jimmy mentioned, 18 laps down at this point. It's going to be really tough to get back in the race with that being the case. But, I mean, you stick with it if you can, and at least get out there and get some laps under your belt, especially if, for the drivers that are a little bit newer and a little bit green to the service here. But Billy Rickett is your leader here. It sounds like we are going to have a comp caution here, so it'll almost be a green, white, yellow situation, Jimmy. Let me get this thing
green, white, yellow
here. As we're going to complete lap number 21 here. We'll get it started at the end of 22. So yeah, roughly, I believe if the math is math, it'll be either a green, white, yellow, or at least a green, white, yellow. But either way, pace car lights are out right now. We're going to get this thing back going for at least a couple laps, and then we will get this back under caution for their comp caution, let them do their pit stops, hopefully get some drivers, some fresh cars out there with the fast repairs, and get ready for the rest of the race here tonight. But Billy Rickett going to lead them back to the green. It's still Michael Rakes on the front row with him, so the front row hasn't changed, just swapping sides here since the start of the race. We'll see if Rakes can take it to him at all on this restart, or if Rickett can check out again for a lap or two.
And the pace car
making that
is
hard turn in and back to the restart zone, back to green flag racing here at Iowa. Pretty good start from both sides. The 91 there of Poland gets a little bit squirrely on the restart, but everyone still pointing in the right direction. Good battle now for the lead as Rakes tries to take it to Rickett on the outside. Gets a good run with that outside lane here as they're going to go side by side into 3 and 4. Going to get the 1 to go, I believe this time by, as it got close to contact right there. As we start lap number 24, pit lane is closed with the comp caution imminent here as Rakes is going to get now pushed back here as Rickett gets a good run through 1 and 2, clears them on the backstretch. We'll see if Rakes tries to dive into the inside. He's not going to be able to. We'll come through turns 3 and 4 and should see the comp caution here coming out in a moment. Good battle for third. Is just going to go to Levi Bolin there, just ahead of Bryce Saucier at the line, as we will hit the comp caution, and we'll see everyone come into the pits, and we'll see if that shakes up the order.
I might just shake it up just a little bit. Obviously, everybody's going to come down and top off the fuel, maybe some tires, and get this thing back out here. Tony Brennan's continuing to march his way forward in the 65, taking advantage of obviously some of the cautions, but quickly moving up here, up now 13 spots in 6th. So where he falls after the caution, and everybody takes back to the track. But a quick rundown of your field. You got Billy Rickett leading here at the comp caution with Michael Rakes, Levi Poland, Bryce Saucier, Mike Casey back in 5th, Tony Brennan, Ken Ewell, Travis Noble back here in 8th, Zane Bierman back up to 9th out there traveling across the grass, Andrew Jones back in 10th, Tanner McAllister, Robbie Miner, Scruffy Jordan, Dale Garner Jr., Douglas Ivey, Bryson Anderson, Chris Perry, and I think Zach Pierre is out there. And he'll get that lucky dog, and then Thomas Osborne out here as well, and Steve Harris still sticking with it and bringing that number 134 out. Just obviously gonna stay out as he just came back out and get a lap back, at least one. But plenty of time to kind of get out there and continue his run and march to kind of just learn the track. And not every track is successful. No matter how fast you can be, you can always find yourself in a predicament that you can't control, yeah, it's tough. It's racing. It's a competitive e-sport, as I call it. So everybody has an edge that wants to win, and you try to capitalize on that. If that's what fuels the drivers to come out here each and every week, is they would like to better themselves. They like the competition, and sometimes you put yourself in a pickle that you might not like. It happens with the best of us, and we keep coming back for more, Carl. I can't say it. What makes us keep coming back, but even after all the failures, I guess maybe that once in a while you get that the sunshine on your rear end, and you get a win, or you get a great finish, or something. But it keeps everybody coming back here each and every week, just like the fans watching their favorite driver, rooting them on, and it could be who knows. I'd love to see some people's live reactions, some of the videos you get from when fans are watching football screens and stuff like that, and they end up punching their TVs.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt like that earlier today, but that's beside the point. That's a whole other story that we'll get into at another point. But yeah, it definitely would be interesting to see some of the fans out there. But I mean, let's be honest with you, fans come here for me and you. The race is just a bonus. I mean, get to watch their favorite drivers out there. That's a bonus. Either way, you talk about improving their position, improving their quality of life right now. Well, that's what Douglas Ivey and Chris Perry have done as they stayed out here. They pit on the previous caution, deciding not to come in here on the comp caution about 5-6 laps later. So, really only a lap or two of green flag running on those tires. But now they find themselves on the front row. So 33, 34 on that front row. New leaders here at the front. We'll see if the call pays off here. I mean, certainly the 33 has been up there all night. Good start for him in 9th place and kind of running just outside the top 5 for most of the night. So he's got some speed in there. Can he get a good restart here as the control car keeping in front of that 7 and 16 that have kind of been dominating? And the other question goes to the 7 and 16. How well will they do? Not necessarily in traffic. They got a couple cars in front of them right now. They're going to try to maneuver through to battle for the lead. As the pace car is off, it's in control here from Ivy, and he's back on the loud pedal. We're back to racing here at Iowa.
And getting a quick start here and on that inside line, and obviously the whole inside line getting a huge jump here. As Billy Rickett, Levi Poland, and the 18 and Bryce have kind of worked their way past everything, and so getting a nice jump there. So the 16's going to have to battle his way back, but Levi Poland looking on the outside here at Iowa across the start-finish line, and he does get that lap win.
And we can have a caution as well. Tanner McAllister, the 17. Maybe having an incident back here. Oh, that was a vicious correction right there. And 62 of Bryson Anderson just gets on by, but the 17 goes for a bit of a smack into the outside wall, and that was pretty heavy. You see that front right tire. I don't think that's pointed the right way right now, and going to need a fast repair possibly from this one. And yes, the meatball just popping up on my screen here. So heavy damage to the 17, as that was another car getting loose and losing it here in turn number 4. Definitely, I would think cold tires playing a part, but 3 and 4, Jimmy, has been a bit of a bear here tonight.
Yeah, just like they can't seem. I don't know if it's the transition off the newer asphalt or what, but it's really catching these drivers kind of by surprise, and them trying to get the power in. And you know, it's not super easy to catch a car when it gets loose in the first place. But yeah, it's definitely. I think there might be a bump coming off of 4 there that they're catching. I did notice. I think we can catch it. We'll see if. We can look at the front of the cars here as they come around. Go to a rear chase here. You can see the bumper. You'll see it dip down as they come off the corners here. Oh, I'm missing. You can't even tell where they're at. That's my bad for not putting up the track map with all the Skittles on it. But right now coming off it too. But you can see it when they come off that fresh asphalt. You can see the bumps and just the front of the car kind of go down just a little bit. And you know, I believe they use, obviously they use some sort of a fixed setup, but right now they are on the asphalt here through 3. And you'll see, coming off of 4, you'll see that front nose, if he's in the right position or spot. As soon as he comes off it, you'll see it dip down. And it does look like he missed it, but it looks like Billy Rickett hit it, and it looks like it's right in the middle there, Carl, where you get that kind of like little dip, and that could be enough to just kind of transfer the weight around in your car while you're accelerating, and next thing you know, you could be sending yourself around.
And on 1 and 2, you used to always have some bad bumps, but I think with the rescan and the new pavement there, it must have smoothed them out, and maybe they tore up 1 and 2 and put it over in 3 and 4, because it's definitely a little bit bumpy, a little bit rough here for the drivers tonight. But we should see the pace car lights go out next time by. We got new leader out front, Levi Poland, and we definitely seen Poland back in action last week, and back in the lead for a little bit as well, as he did some good battling at Indianapolis. And we seen a pretty good race right there, but it wasn't to be for the 91 last week. See if maybe this week he can turn it around and get that first win of the season. It only his second race back here with the series, but definitely good to see for us. We certainly seen quite a bit of Levi Poland in the previous seasons, and we know what kind of skills he has, and good to see another driver up there competing for wins, because you love to see parity in leagues, and as league owners, you know, even though you want to win as a league owner, ultimately you love to see parity and see a lot of different drivers winning throughout the season. And as we mentioned, you know, 5 races into this season, we have 4 different winners, with Mike Casey the only one doubling up and getting 2 wins on the season. So will we have a 5th different winner through 6, or will we have somebody else doubling up, or maybe even Mike Casey getting his 3rd win? Either way, Levi Poland is going to lead him to the restart zone here, and we'll get this thing back underway. 35 laps will be down, still got 90 to go.
Yeah, plenty of racing still remaining here at Iowa, and obviously early laps being challenging. A few nice green flag run, or one good green flag run so far. Well, we're going to group them back up and start them back up as the 91 gets a nice little jump this time. But you can see the cars just kind of bobbling around here a little bit on the restart as Levi Poland takes down to the inside. But Carl, that outside is looking kind of froggy on the outside. Really got some grip on the outside here on those launches.
It does on that first lap, and I almost feel like it's, you know, you can maybe wind it up a little bit more on the outside on the first lap or 2, but it's a little bit too far outside into the wall, and that maybe gave Levi Poland just enough of an edge that he should be able to clear it. He does through 1 and 2 here as he takes over the lead. Billy Rickett's going to slide into 3rd. Saucier up 3 spots into 4th. Biggest move of the race, though, Tony Brennan in 6th place right now, up 13 spots early on, and I feel like he's one that it definitely gets a lot of broadcasters cursed. We won't show them on the screen too long, hopefully. Jimmy will switch to somebody else, anybody else, because I know the 65 has certainly had some issues here when he's on screen. But take a look at another one back here. Zane Bierman dropped back a couple spots from the start as he's back there in 8th spot, but he's another one that's been kind of more on the upswing lately and having some good races, good finishes, and waiting for him to crack through and get his first win of the season. But right now it is pulling out front. Ivy having to deal with Rickett right now as Rickett to the inside for second. Saucier rakes for your top 5. Then you got Casey, Bierman, Brennan, Jordan, and Noble for your top 10.
Tons of sparks here tonight. Obviously from the car. Bouncing around, a little tap there from Bryce to Douglas there as they had to check up there just a little bit. So maybe just trying to catch something. But that's going to slow down Bryce just a little bit. But still going green here. Everybody bottles around through the field here and kind of float through some of the cars back here where your favorite driver might be at. Just kind of see where they're at. Some 2 wide action still on the field here, right there in front of, no, it's done, I think. Trying to find to see if anybody is 2 wide. It does look like everybody just trying to continue and manage to get forward here. So got another one down in the grass there. That's a number 34.
There, Chris Perry. Yeah, I feel like this is a track, Jimmy, that maybe you being a retired Navy man, it doesn't matter here. But I don't think I'd want to be in VR for this track. It is rough and bumpy, and I mean, if I'm going to be in VR, I think I need some Dramamine before I get in the car here tonight, because it is definitely up and down. It is choppy seas here tonight at Iowa for sure. As a little send there from Perry, and a little crossover here from McAllister as he gets back down to the insides. They battle back here for 17th and 18th. Battle up at the front between Saucier and Rakes. So we're going back and forth for 4th and 5th. But right now at the front, Levi Poland is in the lead, but you see Rickett is right on his back bumper and maybe looking to try and get back to the point here as he was your pole sitter. Looking to get back to the front of this field as the laps tick by pretty quickly here at Iowa once we get back going. About 23 to 24 second lap times here, depending on where they are in the tire life cycle. So you're getting quite a few laps done pretty quickly here as the clock kind of ticks away very quickly. 45 laps going to be in the books here, be down to 80 to go.
Yeah, I thought we were just on 10. The race could go by really quick here at Iowa. Pretty quick laps here. They're in the 20 seconds, 22, 23 seconds right now. Early on, they were at in the 22s and almost starting to close in on them 24 seconds. So them tires just starting to go away eventually. But it does look like they have a pretty long life cycle for the most part here. Carl doesn't look like they're falling off too bad yet.
Yeah, based on their best lap times, which you take that with a grain of salt. Not sure how much they're actually we're pushing here so far tonight, but their best lap times are cracking into the high 22-second range. Right now they're running kind of mid 23, so not too much of a fall off right now. And considering it's been a good 20 laps since they've been into the pits last, as the 23 of Scruffy Jordan goes for a bit of a slide. Now the 62 going for a bit of a slide, but one thing that's good about Iowa, they got a couple different ways to get that thing back onto the track. Scruffy Jordan all the way down to the inside wall and drives kind of on that little access road on the inside. The 62 of Bryson Anderson was able to drive through the grass and get it back going. So both of them are going to be shuffled back to 17th and 18th. But we keep this thing green, and out front is still Levi Poland leading the way. But Rickett looking to the inside for first.
We're finally getting down that inside, but I think Levi doing a good job trying to keep him down there, forcing Rickett to get off the throttle and not being able to drift up to get that speed that he needs to make the completion all the way. And you can see it right there as Levi Poland able to stay on the outside, got all the room he needs to kind of run up to the wall just a little bit, and Billy Rickett almost clear. Is at a point where he probably could have drifted up if he wanted to, but keeps it down. Gives Levi Pullen plenty of room as Levi smacks the wall. They're just a little bit about scraped off the number 91 on his right side.
Just mixing up that country time lemonade is all he's doing out there. Just, tapping the wall a little bit here and there. Luckily, it doesn't look like he's done too much damage other than a little bit of scrapes on the outside, but he's going to lose first place here as Rickett back to the point. Saucier in third, started back there in 7th spot, so he's moved up a little bit, but Pullen, started back there in 10th, so both of them having some good cars early on. You got Michael Rake started on the pole here tonight, and he is still hanging up there in 4th place. Definitely gonna race number 16 here tonight. Michael Casey started in 5th, running in 5th at the moment. They're kind of hanging on to the front 4 right now, as it's a bit of a 5-car breakaway, about a second back to the 33 of Douglas Ivey. Just kind of maybe cruising right now in that 33, as he does have the 6-lap older tires, technically 6-lap older, but really only a couple laps of green flag racing on those tires when he decided not to come in under the comp caution. And we got Zane Bierman started in 6th, back there in 7th right now, just dropping 1 spot here, but looking to try and get that back as he brushed the wall here a little bit as well on the front stretch. Tony Brennan, as mentioned earlier, he was the biggest winner of the race. He still is, up 11 spots. Started in 19th, almost shotgun in the field, and he's up into the top 10, running in 8th. Travis Noble, a good starting spot for him on the 2nd row in 3rd place, but he's lost a few spots since the start. Back there in 9th place as it is right now. So you see 34, Chris Berry coming in for, I believe, an unscheduled pit stop. And then you got the 10th place driver right now is Dale Garner Jr. Started in 8th, lost a couple spots, but still hanging on to the top 10.
Good drivers getting out there. Finally, I think settling down. I think maybe understanding how the track's reacting here, in traffic. It's kind of one thing to get out there and do some practice laps, and that is your time to kind of test the waters as far as, where the car likes to go and what it feels like to come off some of these corners. And the drivers are just finally kind of fine-tuned that feeling. As you can see them obviously be bumping around from all the bumps and stuff, the transition from the different pavement. But another driver off the floor down onto the grass there, that was, I think, Tony Brennan.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, Tony Brennan. Must have seen an edge that he needed to make sure it was clipped here tonight.
Yeah, a little weed whacking that didn't be done yet, and then we appreciate that from Tony, as he doesn't lose any spots, stays in 8th place. It was a little bit of battle for 2nd place, and Saucier for a brief moment had the spot over Poland, but Poland fights back and takes it back out. And maybe a battle brewing here for 4th place, as Casey keeps taking a peek to the inside there of the 16, but hasn't made a move just yet. Everybody just kind of status quo right now. We'll see when the first round of green flag pit stops come up, as Thomas Osborne kind of off and on the track here a little bit. You see him down there on the apron as the leaders come by. Saucier looks to the inside here again for 2nd place.
Yeah, Tom not having very good luck here tonight. Back again off the track here. We'll go back and just check to see what happened as just coming off the corner again, and it does look like, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, the same spot, just losing the rear end, trying to get on that throttle, and ends up bringing it down into the grass again. So kind of almost like you would, if I would have known in the timeline that I'm seeing of events happening, you would have thought that was one from earlier. So, but Tom just kind of still struggling here a little bit tonight in the number 83.
Yeah, and it's just again, the issues are all the same spot. It's from the middle of 3 and 4 all the way to the front stretch. It seems where people are dealing with the bumps and just having some issues getting on the throttle coming out of the corner for sure. As it is still Rickett at the front, still a good battle for 2nd with Poland and Saucier, and now a good battle for 3rd and 4th, or 4th and 5th between Rakes and Casey, as they're side by side for 2nd, side by side for 4th. You have the 34 right there of Chris Berry, a lap car right now, trying to work his way back through and get a lap back the hard way.
Yeah, he was one of the ones you seen come in early and kind of out there with newer tires. So, getting the sand, he gets into rakes a little bit. Does get the pass them.
I'm going to make a move right there. I'm not sure you're going to make too many friends making moves like that, but now he's going to give that position back.
Yeah, he might have felt guilty about that one.
yeah. I don't blame him for that one at all. But you do see that Casey has gotten around the 16 here as well. Now goes to work on the 91, who's already passed by Saucier. But in the meantime, Billy Rickett, last week's winner, is trying to check out here. He's out to a 1.2 second lead. At 7 again, he tasted victory lane, but realistically, he got his first interview. That's really, I think, what it is. I mean, winning is great. He got his first interview, and he knows how great it is, and that's what he's looking for again here tonight. But he wants to make sure it's that last interview here once again, as leading the way here early on, and we are at that halfway point already. These laps go by very quickly. So while they're nice and green here, we're gonna go ahead and step aside, give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
A little love to hear it.
Sights and sounds here of the 191 Motorsports as we are here under caution. As you see, the right about when the pit stops started, Levi Poland, Tanner McAllister both in to pit lane. And it looks like Levi Poland just going to be able to sneak out of this thing, and I believe maybe he just drove through the pits. He's going to fall back a few spots, but could have gone down a lap or two had he completed his green flag pit stop. And it looks like he is actually going to get a black flag. Not sure if it's going to get cleared by the admins or not. But as pit stops were about to happen, we've seen the caution right there. Not sure if Ken Ewell forgot there was a turn one here, or if it was, he had some issues with the 31 there of Dale Garner Jr. But either way, sent it into turn number one, got them both loose, and brought out a later race caution here as we're getting towards the end of this thing. It was definitely getting a little racy for second place between the 6 of Mike Casey and the 18 of Bryce Saucier. But we got some different strategies here, Jimmy, as new race leader. Maybe just trying to take a shot at it, as it looks like Michael Rakes deciding no tires on this one, and now he is going to bring these 16 back in here. Not sure if maybe he just didn't have the tires checked or what, but yeah, I don't think that was the right call there. He's going to have to bring the 16 back into the pits to get some tires on that thing. So it will shuffle back to Billy Rickett at the front, and man, I don't know if anybody's got anything for Billy Rickett here tonight. Maybe now Mike Casey in second will try and give it a go, but he had a pretty sizable lead there, about 3-second lead, which is pretty big here at Iowa on that green flag run.
Yeah, he was starting to check out, but the drivers were battling behind him. So anytime that happens, typically the leader loves to see that and they gain that gap. But you got to get around second place in order to get track down the leader, and that's what Michael Casey was trying to do. Does look like that did happen in the pits, though, as Michael Casey has moved up into team number 2. Bryce Saucier now back in third, but we'll see how that happens as the restart happens here. Very, very short.
I want to thank our sponsors here for the series, Beyond the Edge, Kim's Cups and More, and One Vision EMS and Transports for everything that they do. And obviously want to thank all the patrons out there in CRN Nation tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that we have to offer, as some of the season's coming down to an end. This one not even at the halfway point yet, as we're going to get this thing back underway next time by, and we're going to have 11 cars on the lead lap. Levi Poland, the last one on that lead lap, as he kind of got somewhat of a break from when the caution came out, because again, if the caution came out a lap later, he'd have been a lap or two down and really been in a bad situation. But he's still got a fighting chance back there on the lead lap. Billy Rickett is your leader, though. Mike Casey, Bryce Saucier, Travis Noble, Douglas Ivey for your top 5, as a pace car going to make that hard left-hand turn, as he seems like he gets loose getting into that pit stop. But he's in the pits, and Billy Rickett is back on the loud pedal. We're racing again here at Iowa.
And Billy Rickett getting another good jump here, but not as big as earlier. And Michael Casey on that outside, trying to stick it to him here early, trying to get up there. Harrison coming out of the pits as the field goes around. Too wide. Mike Casey can't quite get the outside grip that he needs. Looking, not gonna make it happen.
Yeah, and Rickett seems like he's fine and dandy, just sticking down to that bottom line. I know the outside line can be used for passing, and we've seen it already here tonight, but it seems like that 7 is good on the bottom, and he does not want to give that bottom up for anybody, and he'll wait as long as it is that he needs to clear that person on the outside. Now battle for second here once again, as Casey gets a little loose, maybe a little love tap there from Bryce Saucier again, as Rickett, I'm sure, is looking in the mirror like, yep, go ahead, boys, have at it. I like it. I like what I'm seeing here. Battle it up so I can check out here again, as he is in the front, watching these two go to battle here again for second place. And should see a lot of these stars, hopefully, as well as stars from all of the series here on CRN coming up towards the end of this month, because we're having the CRN Cup coming back, and a lot of drivers already signing up. A lot of them looking forward to it already, as we got a couple good good combinations for the drivers, and we'll see how they do. And it's always fun, kind of cross-pollinating and seeing how drivers, in 191 do up against Hold Your Brakes or the Core O'Reilly series or VVR, and same thing when it comes to the roadside, and to see how the Core GT goes up against CSRL, and how some of these oval drivers do on the road, and vice versa. It's just a fun event, and looking forward to it coming up here in a few weeks. That'll be on Sunday night, and it'll be on Sunday night when 191 isn't doing racing, so it kind of works out perfectly. But right now, working out perfectly for Billy Rickett is he's got himself a lead again as they're 3 wide. Here's Scruffy Jordan having a little bit of issues. Sliding back here now, back to the back half of the top 10. But out front, it is Rickett leading the way. Saucier, Casey, Zane Bierman, and Noble for your top 5. So again, Expired Motorsports looking for a double top 5 here one more time, and this time here at Iowa, as Noble doing some battling with Levi Poland, who, remember, started back there in 11th on this restart. He's already got that number 91 now wound up and up into the top 5, so maybe trying to run this top 5 down as I got close between Rakes and Ivy. Laps are ticking down though. We're almost down to the final 30 laps of this race, as these drivers are now starting to go at it. It's not quite go time just yet, Jimmy, but I'll be damned, it feels like it.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting around here in like 20 seconds, so it's just over a minute for 3 laps. So you do the math. They're looking at maybe 10 minutes here to finish this thing out underneath the green. You can see the very heavy battling between some of these drivers, and maybe some of them starting to feel the pressure that this thing is going to be over in blink of an eye. We're closing in on that lap 100 mark here with 191 Motorsports here on Sunday with CRN and folks, and obviously just always thankful for all the fans out there that continue to come out here and watch 191 and support everybody here on CRN. So thank you for showing up here tonight. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and give your drivers a shout out, who you're rooting for, or who's going to win tonight. Well, Billy Rickett getting his 2nd place after opening the floodgates of his first victory last week. There will be somebody new.
I don't know, Jimmy. I think 191 here may have messed up letting Billy Rickett get a win, and they kind of opened Pandora's box. And is there going to be somebody that's going to be able to shut it, is the question. I mean, he won on a track last week, 2.5 miles, Super Speedway, Indianapolis. You come here, it is completely different. So it's not like it's, cookie cutter to cookie cutter. This is a completely different track here at Iowa, and seeing a lot of speed here again from Rickett. So whatever he figured out last week to finally get it done, we figured it out here again, and he may not be able to be stopped here, and maybe going to try and make a run up through the point standings, as again he came in only 17 points behind. Actually, scratch that. He came in 7 points behind Mike Casey, and the way it's going right now, looking pretty good. Is not so good for Scruffy Jordan, as he goes for a bit of a ride to the inside here. But that didn't bring out a caution. This is what brought out the caution, and that's Tanner McAllister getting loose again, smacking the outside wall. Don't look like he got a meatball on this one, but maybe some more damage for the 17. He ended up towing it back to pit lane, as did Matthew Scruffy Jordan. So maybe losing a few cars here tonight, and Steve Harris actually going to pick up a spot here with Chris Perry retiring, and going to move himself up to 19th spot. But I'm not sure Rickett really wanted to see this caution. I'm sure he'd like to run this thing out green. He definitely has a good car on the long green flag runs. And now he's hopefully going to see Saucier and Casey just go right back to battling once this restart starts. But how about this? We got some strategy calls here, as whatever the leaders do the opposite. Rickett and Casey stay out, as does Pierre. But Saucier, Poland, Noble, Bierman, Rakes, Ivy, Garner, Jones, all in pit lane. So this will be very interesting.
This is big. It could pan out if they do get another green flag run here. Tires are always huge. This is one huge advantage that could be taken in place, and it could hang out Billy Rickett and Michael Casey out to drive Obviously, you got the 27 Zach Pierre in there trying to gain some spots, taking advantage, and the driver's trying to make that decision. But this is fresh tires, Carl, and fresh tires are king on almost every track, unless it's Daytona or Talladega. They're definitely, you'll see the increase. It's like some nitrous booster out there. It's not like road racing. We kind of, we had our special event yesterday, and cold tires are a bad thing, and they're very difficult to manage, and you got to get them warmed up and warm them up correctly, or you just have a poop car for a lap or two until they finally iron themselves out. But and you can keep running on those tires for a very long time. Such the fact that over an hour and a half, almost 2 hours on one set of tires for the LMP2 car yesterday, which was quite amazing. I was actually surprised that it really didn't change much. I was out there for a time there. I think it was like I was out there for. I didn't quite get the Brave and do the quad stint on the tires, but I changed the tires, and when they warmed up, the car did feel different. A little more sticky, where it would turn a little bit better here and there, but it wasn't that much. Let's say, when you come out of the pits with a road car and you got cold tires, you got to take your time to warm up, where you lose about 10 to 15 seconds. When not taking new tires, in a situation like that, we were gaining 10 seconds on the field per positions, and that's what helped us battle our way through some situations yesterday, until eventually being parked by another driver, another class. But we'll let that one rest there. But it was a fun time hanging out with Carl, Chris Hamilton, and we had the likes of James Brown out there with us as well. So even a newer driver has some time and some cars, but I'm sure he was a little bit nervous going into the field, hanging out with me, Carl, and Chris. It's not. I don't think it's as overwhelming, but I'm just me. But some people can get a little intimidated when you got the CRN broadcasters out there, you got the admin guys out there for core. So and you got obviously one of the better drivers, Chris Hamilton, being shown here at multiple races. And just winning a GT championship. But Mike Casey gets turned into the wall on the restart. That is not what the 6 wanted to see here tonight.
Wow, I'm shaking my head on that one. That was a rough one. Casey getting at it with a meatball, as will Ken Ewell. We'll take a look here on this restart and see what exactly happened on this one. And it's just old tires and a rough, bumpy track. Turn 4 claims another one. Didn't get turned. This is the track turning himself, and you see right there, 27 getting a little bit loose at the front as well. But right there, the 19 clipping the 6. And just not the night that Ken Ewell wanted to have here tonight either, and certainly not the finish that Mike Casey wanted. And it's going to get more interesting right now. It's definitely sucks for the 6 right there, but it's going to shake up the front even more, because now you don't have 2 drivers at the front that stayed out. You only have 1. Rickett is the only one that didn't pit at the front. Zane Bierman came into the pits on the last lap, or the last chance to pit. Only took 2, and you can say the same thing for Douglas Ivey there in 4th. So the outside line, 2nd and 4th, 2 tires. The inside line, it doesn't have new tires, at least new tires from lap 82 with Billy Rickett, and then 4 new tires for Bryce Saucier. So who's got the right call here? Who's got the right strategy? Will we be able to get this thing green for a good amount of time for those strategies to come into play, or will Rickett just be able to, get some good restarts, have another caution, and just kind of work his way to another victory here tonight?
I'm sure he's not minding the cautions as long as they're behind him. He just took out one of his biggest competitors at a fault by Michael Casey. There's nothing but, older tires trying to light him up to get a run at Ricky, and ends up spinning him and ends up setting himself to the wall. So obviously drivers not quite getting down out of the way, tagging them to the help if it matters, but basically self-sabotage for the 6 here tonight, and kind of opening the floodgates here for the 6. It's going to take a lot for the 6 of Michael Casey. Still in the lead lap, and does have a little bit of time, but he has a long way to go. And Rickett's been pretty much on fire here tonight. What's going against Rickett, like you said, them tire strategies, and if they get a chance to kind of ramp it up here without going caution, I think pretty much that 7 might be a sit and duck.
Well, what's going to be interesting to see is what those 2 tires do, because we've seen this track be loose here tonight. A loose track with 2 new tires. You want to talk about getting sketchy. I'm certainly I'm holding my breath for the 55 and the 33 out there with 2 new tires. It's a gamble. I mean, it got him track position. It got him a chance up here for the win, but you need to be ready for that car to be angry and want to turn very quickly here. And we'll see how that transpires here to the end, because pace car lights are out. Right now we got 20 to go to be 19 to go when we get this thing restarted. Rickett, Bierman, Saucier, Ivy and Noble for your top 5. Poland, Garner, Rakes, Jones, and Pierre for your top 10. Pierre Anderson, and Casey all coming in the pits on the caution here, with Pierre and Casey getting 4 fresh tires on in the back. So we'll see if they can charge their way through the field, see how aggressive they are in doing so as well. But it's about time to get this thing back underway. Can Rickett hold off the charge?
We definitely know he's going to get the jump. That's just the perks of being the leader when it comes down after a caution, because everybody's waiting for you to go, at least to a certain point. So they usually have the advantage here. So just kind of revving up here. We're going to be on board with Billy Rickett, and he's going to go early. No wasting time at all. Hopefully catch some people off guard. Doesn't catch too many off guard. But does get out front. Bryce be able to tuck right underneath him there, get to the inside of number 55, 33, showing his colors again here early and trying to get into that position. Levi Poland's no stranger to the outside, but looking to go around the 55 and get some momentum, but the 55 is going to drift up, not giving Levi any room, cuts that off, so that takes away the momentum there for the 91, and gives Rickett a chance to try to pull away here early as everybody is warming up.
And that's what he's got to do. He's got to get those used tires up the temp quickly, because these tires will start to even off very quickly. And normally we see new tires pay big dividends. I don't know how much they're going to pay here. I mean, again, lap 82 was the last time that Rickett came in. Saucier came in on lap number 99. But how many of those were under green flag conditions? Maybe 15 or so. Definitely a better spot to be in. But Rickett running his fastest lap of the race the last time by with a 22.75. So he's got that 7 wound up to 91 into the back of the 55. They're going to keep it going here as a battle for 3rd place between Poland and Bierman. Bierman, again, one of those cars with the 2 tires, trying to get some track position here, but Rickett holds on for now. The number 18 is right there and getting a good run through 3 and 4, but Rickett still leads at the line as we've got 15 laps to go.
And as long as he gets that 7 rotated and trying to get that run right now, he's trying to protect it, trying to get down there low. But the 18 getting even lower, looking for the opportunity for that 7 to wash out. It does look like the rear end washes out a little bit. The 18's now side, heading down to turn number 1.
And there's the opportunity that Saucier needed. He got it. He's got to lead right now. Now Rickett's going to try and find a way to get back, fight back if he can, and try and get back into the mix of this, but he's already under attack by Poland for 2nd. Big bobble there from Bierman. Great save. He's going to lose quite a few spots and get some angry tires on that one, but he's still in the mix up here as a 7 of Rickett, trying to do what he can and just stave off any more competition. But Rakes, your pole sitter, is back in the mix. He got the interview before the race. He wants the interview after the race as well, and trying to do what he can as cars brushing up against the wall. Good battle here for the lead. Saucier looking to get himself his 2nd win on the season. He comes in 2nd in points, 5 points behind Casey, who right now is sitting in see, there he is, 9th place. So hasn't made too much headway from the restart here, and he's got a long distance now in between him and 8th place as the clock is starting to tick down. 10 laps to go. Saucier leads over Poland now, but teammates doing battle here as a 70 of Noble is going to get ahead of Rickett.
Yeah, Noble having a little better tires here, and now obviously drivers trying to get by Billy as those tires now showing their age over those newer tires. And like I said, unfortunately, a 7 being on them older tires was struck a hand of bad luck here at the end, but almost pulling it off. But we're not done here. We got 9 laps to go here as the drivers still making their way around a few drivers with different tire strategies. We're seeing who's kind of coming to the top, but we got a battle up front here for Levi Poland and the 18.
Poland to the inside of the 18, and we see that 18 doing a lot of battling from the outside and getting roughed up a little bit. We'll see if he can hold off the charge here from Poland and keep Poland winless here in season number 5, but still side by side on the front stretch. So the time is ticking down here, and Rake's right behind. Doesn't mind them doing battling here. He'd love to get up there and get in the mix. And how about Travis Noble? We've talked about his teammate all night. We talked about Rickett having the car to beat. Now he doesn't have the strategy to beat, unfortunately, and falling back through the order. So now for Expired Motorsports, it's on the head of the 70 of Travis Noble. Can he get up there and kind of avenge the 7 and maybe has the same setup here in the car to try and get it done, as he is up here in the mix? Good to see Noble in the mix here at the end of the race, maybe trying to at least get himself a podium. Good run through 3 and 4, but all 4 of these drivers at the front, nose to tail. Bierman trying to get back into the mix there in 5th, but it's time is ticking, Jimmy. Time is ticking down very quickly, and we're down to 5 to go.
Yeah, 5 quick laps here at Iowa as the 18 leads the way over the 91 of Levi Poland. Michael Rake's back in 3rd, Travis Noble in 4th. Down to the inside as they come across the start-finish line, but don't quite have the momentum, but looks like to get almost there. As you can see, the 16 off to the right-hand side, but unable to continue to grasp that little bit of momentum to get up underneath the 16 and keep it to the upper side here. But they are getting ready to finish this thing. This time by, will be 3 laps to go.
Great race here, great battle here at the end as we're seeing all 4 cars here in the mix. Poland gets kind of chopped off a little bit. The 70 into the wall here as everyone's trying to go for every spot on the track here. And it is a good battle, but this is going to give a chance now for Saucier to try and stretch out here a little bit. Rake's going to have to duck back in line in 3rd place as Poland tries to get the 91 back to the back bumper of the 18, as we're going to have 2 laps to go here at the line. And dives to the inside. I'm sorry, actually, this is the white flag lap coming up right here as Poland sideways off the corner. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go at Iowa. Poland on the outside. Saucier on the inside. Who's going to get that better run through the corner? Saucier tries to drift up a little bit, but Poland is still there. Saucier gets a little bit loose right now. Heading into 3, they're side by side. Who wants it more? Who's got the better grip? Saucier sends it through the corner. Poland tries to get it on the outside, but not going to happen. He's going to spin and lose the top 3 out of it, as it is going to be Saucier getting the win here tonight. Poland did everything he could. A great send into 3 and 4 from the 18. It's going to put Rakes into 2nd. Travis Noble will avenge Rickett a little bit and get himself into 3rd. But what a finish here at Iowa.
Yeah, definitely last corner push by all the drivers, and you could just see how delicate, I guess, the track was with the car. Getting that traction needed to come out of turn number 4, and Levi Poland just losing it there, losing a few spots as he slid across in 4th place, but allowing Travis Noble to that catbird seat and to pick up the podium. So congratulations by all the drivers on finishing the race here tonight, and on the 18th second win of the season. here at 19 Motorsports at the Cornfield 109.
I want to thank everyone out there in Sierra Nation again for tuning in here tonight to a good one for sure, as we see an associate get his second win on the season. But man, it was a few different leaders here tonight. It looked like it was all Ricketts to lose and trying to go back to back, but some late race strategy changes because of some yellow flags changed that narrative a big amount. We see Mike Casey up there with a chance to win, but he ends up spinning it out and putting it into the wall late and causing one of the cautions here, taking himself out of it. But it ended up being a great battle between Saucier and Poland on the final laps, and unfortunately Poland did everything he could. But again, the great send into 3 and 4 for the 18 is what got down here for Saucier. I want to thank our sponsors, Beyond the Edge, One Vision EMS and Transports, and Kim's Cups and More for everything that they do, and certainly all the CRN fans out there. Hit that like, subscribe if you haven't done so already, as we'll get these top 3 in for their interviews. But in the meantime, Jimmy, why don't you give us a final rundown of that 20-car order?
Final rundown of tonight's final order is going to be Bryce Saucier with taking away the win here tonight over Michael Rakes and Travis Noble for your top 3. And fourth, it's going to be Levi Poland, and then Zane Bierman, Douglas Ivey, Michael Casey, Zach Pierre, Billy Rickett, and Dale Garner Jr. For your top 10. And 11th, it's going to be Andrew Jones, Bryson Anderson, Tony Brennan, Robbie Miner, Ken Ewell, Thomas Osborne, Steve Harris, Tanner McAllister, and the rest of the field is going to be Matthew Jordan and Chris Perry. So good race here tonight. Some interesting events here and some great racing side by side. Definitely a difficult track as it beat up the drivers coming out of turn number 4.
Yeah, for sure. 3 and 4 was definitely no picnic, and coming onto that front stretch or trial was a bit rough trying to get on the gas. But we've seen a good one here tonight. We're going to go ahead and get our interviews underway. Third place here tonight is going to go to the 70 of Travis Noble. Travis, it looked like it was pretty much a lock that we were going to talk to Expired Motorsports here tonight, but maybe not the one that we expected to talk to. As your teammate that was out there in dominating fashion, but you had the right strategy call at the right time here at the end. You get those tires on the 70, drive your way up there, and a heck of a battle up there. Watch the top 3 as you were sitting there in fourth, just kind of waiting to pick at least one of them off. And luckily, you got a chance to at the end to get yourself up here for an interview in third.
Oh yeah, can you hear me good?
Yep, I got you, buddy.
Alrighty, yeah, I seen Roger and Levi go in for them tires. I had to follow them. They're good and everything. So I was like, well, I'm gonna do the same thing.
So talk to me about how difficult this track was here tonight, because it definitely, we could see how bumpy it was just on the straightaways, but it seemed like in between from in between 3 and 4 all the way until you got under that tri-oval on the front stretch, it seemed like it was really catching a lot of drivers out here tonight.
Yeah, where they repaved it there, coming out turn 4, it gets real slick, and I try to back it up coming into 3 and 4, and just take it easy, But yeah.
Well, it certainly worked out good here, and it seems like you're starting to get that 70 ramped up here a little bit, getting some good runs, some good finishes. Here you get yourself finally up here on the podium, get a chance to talk to us, and probably sneak yourself into the top 10 in the points as well. So it's got to feel like a good night for you.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty good night. We had a slow start in the season, had a couple of accidents, there, but mid-season it seems like we're doing pretty good.
Well, still plenty of time left in the season for sure. So congrats on the podium here tonight. Before we let you go, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Get a shout out to the team, everybody watches. We share the link like Billy said last week, every week. So, and everybody that we share it to watches. So shout out to them.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again on the top 3 here tonight. We'll let you go, and we'll see if you can keep it out here in the Midwest and head to Kentucky next week and get another one.
Oh yeah, that's our home track. So hopefully we can do good.
All right, buddy. That is driver of the 73rd place finisher here tonight, Travis Noble, getting it done here. Good look at a new purple paint scheme out there for him as well. Second place here tonight. Jimmy, an interview before the race wasn't enough for Michael Rakes. He wanted to get it up here again and comes home in second here tonight.
Hey, Mike, welcome back to the booth.
Hey, how y'all guys doing now?
Pretty good. Well, this time here is for your finish here at Iowa. It definitely was an interesting race. You guys had a few caution, but it did look like the track was a little tricky for a lot of drivers out there, causing some problems coming off of 3 and 4. So just kind of give us a rundown of your race and how it was out there for you tonight.
Oh yeah, Iowa's always just really slick, and yeah, it's always real tricky to get around. But I made a terrible mistake at some point. Apparently, I clicked off my tires, and I didn't take tires on that
Yeah,
after
we've
that
seen
long
that.
green flag run.
See
we've seen
that
that.
dispatcher for sure.
I was like, turn, but managed to claw way back forward. Got a really good finish still.
Yeah, when you had your qualifier up there on the pole, the 16 at least had speed here tonight, and without them tires, and the importance of tires here at Iowa is only a few, and it's kind of what's settled down here as far as the drivers went. But you guys put up a great finish there at the end. Almost had a chance at it, but just fell a little bit here short here tonight. But we want to say congratulations on your finish, and say congratulations and give you some time for any shouts you might have at number 16.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you again for streaming this. It's always a blast to come in and race with these 191 guys, and every other time we're here. So
I appreciate the shouts as always, and you're always welcome in the booth, and maybe we'll get the chance to speak to you next week at Kentucky. But for this one here, congratulations on your second place, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
thank you.
Yes, sir.
That is your in-race reporter and second place finisher here tonight, the 16 of Michael Rakes. But the top spot here tonight is going to go to the 18 of Bryce Aussier. A heck of a send into turn number 3, and he kind of needed that and then some to try and get this win done, because a lot of battling here tonight. And I know to me, it doesn't seem like a short track here. Iowa, it's under a mile, so I know Jimmy already considers it a short track, but it definitely has some short track feel here tonight. A lot of bumping and banging.
It was a physical one tonight. Really, really hard to drive too. The car was evil on throttle, really. So you had to manage that. And then the race side by side with the new asphalt, the groove is really narrow. So it's hard to race side by side, but not really. So
Yeah, it's
good race.
It seemed like the exit of 4 was kind of the biggest struggle bus for everyone out there, both on the restarts and of course, when you're up to speed here. It seemed like everybody was having some issues there, getting that thing loose, and plenty of drivers going down, cutting the grass here tonight.
Yeah, I ran some of the test races, and I kind of figured that was going to happen. The car, it was really just off of 4. It wasn't horrible off 2, but once you got some laps, it got pretty bad off of 2 as well. But that was a manage your tires kind of race. The people that were good at that were the guys that were up front, and we had that nice long run too. So you showed who best managed their rears.
Well, you were the one to best manage it here at the end with a good battle between Levi Poland and yourself, going back and forth side by side on the last lap. You had to feel a little bit, maybe worried that the bottom line. It seemed like you were better on the top line here tonight, but you had the bottom line into 3 and 4, and you kind of sent it in there, and were you just kind of sent it in, hoping that it sticks?
Yeah, a lot of that. He did it coming to the white. So I said, well, I guess it stuck for him. I'm going to try it. I don't think I'm going to win if I don't. So glad it did. Didn't stick by much, but it did. So worked out. Big props to him, because he raced me really clean. There was a lot of times he could have just used me up. 8 wheels is better than 4 and just got by me, and that would have been the end of it. But so big respect to him. That was a pleasure to race with him.
Well, the point standings flip-flop now as you get your second win on the season. You came in 5 points down on Casey. You leave 5 points up heading into Kentucky, which will be the end of the first half of the season. So I'm assuming the first half going kind of to script right now.
It's going good. Couple races, I feel like we should have at least gotten a really good finish in that we didn't. But ultimately, I think we've performed good enough to hold on. But I think second half of the year, intensity is going to pick up. Targets are going to be on people's back that are real fast. So going to have to execute and be a little better, because I don't think I had the best car. I think I had 4 tires at the end and got the lead, and then I just was made the car wild.
Well, it was certainly a wild finish to watch out here tonight. So congrats again on the win, second win of the season. Before we let you go, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
My grandmother and then one of my friends. They both always watch these races, so big thanks to them. I want to dedicate this one to KB. Kyle was a big inspiration to me, one of my personal heroes. So feels good to win with the 18. Yeah, super cool to get done.
Well, congrats again on the win here tonight. We'll see if you can go back-to-back at Kentucky next week. But either way, take some time, celebrate, and we'll see you next week at Kentucky.
Yeah, thank you guys for putting this broadcast on, too. It's excellent to go back and watch every week.
We appreciate that, buddy. That is your winner here tonight, the 18 of Bryce Saucier, getting it done here at Iowa. Great run here tonight, and that will conclude it here for 191. But we got plenty of racing action here the rest of the week with Hold Your Brakes coming up tomorrow night. So tune into that one and kick yourself off for the rest of the week here on CRN. But for myself and Jimmy here from the Iowa Speedway, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.